just actually, do we just want to, spew some thoughts about Spider-Man, since that was the whole reason that we kind of did this episode?
Yeah.
Any last thoughts?
Well,
spoiler alerts. Let's just get that out of the way. If you have not
if
seen
you're listening,
Spider-Man
if you
yet,
haven't seen it, just leave. Just
turn the episode off now. Yes. Anyway, thoughts.
I thought it was great. I loved it. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so I personally think it's the best MCU movie because of, and I've told you guys that has a lot to do with me being a Spider-Man fan. I think if I wasn't as big a fan of the character, it'd probably be like 2, 3 for me, somewhere in that range. But I mean, the whole reveal with obviously Andrew's Spider-Man, Tobey's Spider-Man was fantastic. And the way that they all meshed together, one of the best scenes in the MCU as a whole. Even if you don't think it's the best movie, that scene is one of the best, awesome, without a doubt, where they're all
so
swinging.
Cool.
Yeah. I agree.
It's not my favorite MCU movie, right? I think Infinity War and Endgame, those are going to be really, really hard to beat. Infinity War is my personal favorite. I thought it was easily the best Spider-Man movie, and it's top 5. Don't get me wrong. There were a few gripes that I had with the movie. My biggest one was the way that they killed off Aunt May. I felt like it was a little anticlimactic and it took a little bit too long. And I felt like when he first picked up Aunt May before she died, I felt that would be such a perfect moment for her to drop the "with great power comes great responsibility." But as soon as she says that, have Green Goblin come in and swoop in and kill her. And like actually just die. I think that would be, as menacing as it is, I think that would be incredibly heart-wrenching to watch in the moment. And I think that would have made you hate Green Goblin even more. But obviously, if you do that, you can't really have his redemption arc at the end where Spider-Man doesn't kill him at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Jake.
I mean, I feel like everything you described, like she did, like she was dying. I mean, you're saying like not at that exact moment she didn't drop the line.
I kind of see what he's saying. Like, I do think it kind of dragged out. And I think the idea with that was to make you think that she was going to live even after that stuff happened. And then absolutely like tear you apart. Yeah. But I think that, it could have been a little bit better if like after the explosion or whatever, if she's laying there and then Peter goes over to her and they have a short conversation and she tells him with great power comes great responsibility. And then she dies. That probably could have been a little bit better.
Here's the thing, though. I think that was the most realistic death in the MCU ever, though, because honest to God, if you got impaled with that, with his whatever glider thing.
Yeah, and then you're bleeding out after.
And you're bleeding. That's how you would die. You would not die instantly. You would go into a state of shock. So you honestly probably wouldn't even feel that you've been stabbed. You'd feel, something's wrong. This is how some people like describe being shot. Like, you go into a state of shock. Like you don't actually feel it until you see that you've been shot. So I feel like that was actually like a pretty realistic way that somebody who had just been impaled like that would die, because they would be fine at first and be like, okay, I can get through this. I'm going to be okay. And then realize like, oh shit, like as they start to bleed out more and more and more, realize, oh shit, okay, I got to lay down. I'm not going to be okay. Like, and you could tell she was in shock. She was shaking the whole time. So I actually thought that was actually a pretty realistic death as opposed to other deaths in the MCU. That's just my 2 cents, though. Yeah. Just my 2 cents.
So there is one thing that I want to see what you guys have to say about it that's been going around the internet quite a bit among people that have seen the movie and everything. Obviously, at the end, everyone forgets who Peter Parker is. Everyone forgets that he's Spider-Man. Everybody forgets that he existed pretty much. But there's like, people are saying there's kind of a loophole because everybody in the world on Earth or whatever forgot who he is, but they're saying like, well, Captain Marvel's not on planet. Thor is not on planet. Like, So there's even Nick Fury is with the Skrulls or whatever. So they're saying like, there's going to be people that remember who he is that just aren't there right now.
I think that's legit. I think that could work.
I could see that. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, was the spell just everybody who knew Peter Parker would forget him? Because that's how the alternate universe villains and Spider-Mans were brought into the
because it was
first place.
Everybody that knew that he was Peter Parker.
Exactly. So, I don't know. Yeah. That'd be interesting.
I want to know, like, what happens with pictures of him? Like, if you have a picture with yourself and of him? Are you just confused as to who you took
People
the picture
have been
with?
saying
Or?
that too.
Yeah,
like
That's
MJ
true,
looking at her
because-
phone and she's got like
Yeah.
a screensaver of him and her. And like, what the fuck? Who's this guy?
Who's this guy?
Yeah. That's actually a good loophole because that's true. Because like it's not like he was erased from existence. He just people literally just, as we saw with MJ with the Band-Aid, like we know the event still took place.
Yeah.
It's just people don't remember him. So like you would still have pictures of him.
It's also going to be interesting. Or I saw somebody else say also that like, oh, well, here in just a second, you guys aren't going to remember me anymore. Why don't you both record videos real quick of yourself explaining the situation so that you can watch it back after the fact?
Yeah,
That would have been smart.
That's
So
perfect.
there's like so much stuff that they could have done, but I mean, I get it for the plot.
It's
you know,
too many-
got to
too
make
many-
it happen a certain way.
Yeah, too many logistics. It's fiction after all, you know. But I will say my favorite part, and this might be my favorite part of literally any movie I've ever watched, happened in this movie, is when MJ fell off the scaffolding, is what they were on, right?
Yes.
And instead of Peter
redemption.
Parker or Tom Holland,
Parker did save her.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Instead of Tom Holland saving her, it was Andrew Garfield, and then you just see him crying at the end when she's asking him if he's okay. I thought that was perfect storytelling. It was such a great way of wrapping up just a shitty end that Andrew Garfield had in his Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. That was sick.
They said that they had originally planned to bring Gwen back in this movie, but they couldn't because of COVID issues. So they couldn't get Emma Stone.
They also had to take whoever, I forgot their name, whoever was playing Sandman and whoever was playing the Lizard. Their cameos in the movie were from old movies, from when they turned back into their human form,
because they couldn't get them. Like somebody pointed out in the Statue of Liberty when Sandman gets turned back into a human or whatever, like his regular self, they literally just took the scene from the original Spider-Man trilogy and like put it in that setting instead. It's the same scene. He's doing like the same movements and everything.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because I was going to say, like, I remember Sandman could still turn back into himself, right?
Yeah,
in
he
the
was
movie.
just sand the whole time because he wasn't actually in it. They just
Gotcha.
used-
Okay, I didn't know that. And I think I've heard rumors that this wasn't just a cameo by Toby and Andrew Garfield in the MCU. Like there might be another The Amazing Spider-Man 3.
I've been seeing that also. Yeah.
Yeah, and that Toby will be like this was their formal introduction into the MCU.
That'd be sick. That'd be
That
sick.
would be
They have
awesome.
a whole army of Spider-Men, and then you have Miles Morales coming.
And then that would be a perfect way to bring in Miles Morales too.
Yeah. If you look on the Marvel website, The Amazing Spider-Man, which is Andrew's obviously, and then I think the other Spider-Man, Toby's, they're listed as official characters in the MCU now. So, and like I said earlier in Multiverse of Madness, they're saying that Toby is potentially in that movie.
That'd be sick.
Interesting.
That'd be sick. I really think they're probably going to introduce the if not the X-Men, then definitely the Fantastic Four. One of the two, they're going to be introduced in Multiverse of Madness. Like somehow
we're getting a Fantastic Four movie for sure, so they have to be introduced at some point.
I don't know which one's coming first. I think it's probably going to be Fantastic Four because they're the Marvel's first family. I'd have to imagine they're doing that first. But
how funny would it be if they brought back Fantastic Four? If they did the same thing that they did with these Spider-Men and they brought back like the former cast of Fantastic Four, like even Chris Evans as Johnny.
Oh,
that would be
that
would be hilarious.
That'd be sick.
That would be
Michael B. Jordan.
They make a joke about him looking like Captain America or something. I can see that.
Yeah, I feel like that would be awesome. There's so many. Go ahead.
People are speculating that Reed Richards is going to be the one that bought the Avengers.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I've seen that.
I swear to fucking God, excuse my language, if John Krasinski is not Reed Richards,
it's perfect.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be pissed.
And Emily Blunt, his wife, as
that would be
it works.
The Invisible Woman.
It works.
Perfect.
Me is the Thing. Come on, football fans though. Who else?
He's got the build already.
Who else would you want? Who else would you want? I love it.
That's so good. That's funny. That's funny.
Your star cast: Emily Blunt, John Krasinski, Luke Rosenthal, and who would play
Human
Play,
Torch.
who's the other one? Yeah, Human Torch.
Who'd play
I
him?
could. I got red hair. Throw me in there.
There you
Throw
go.
me in there as Johnny. I'd
Just-
be perfect.
yeah.
Oh, Gage is the
Just
Silver
everybody
Surfer?
but me. Oh,
Oh, I like that. Look at that.
No,
We're
I
gonna
wanna
make some
be-
merch like that.
Man.
no, I want to be Galactus. Make me Galactus.
No,
right,
can't.
you could be-
Can't, or else you have to be on my football team.
Gage,
You have to
I
pick.
weirdly
I'm
feel
down.
like you would play a great Kang. I that has
Kang?
nothing to do with the Fantastic Four, but I could see you pretty good in that role. I don't know if it's just a hoodie right now, but I feel like that would be a really good role for you.
Maybe that's something we should have done in the episode. Like what superhero and or villain each of us think that the others would be.
Ooh,
Maybe in the future.
that would be interesting. That would be fun. There's just I feel like we should talk more Marvel on this podcast going forward because I just
Yeah.
love talking about this
And
stuff.
there's going to be more movies and stuff coming out too. I think it's
Yeah.
definitely something that we can revisit. And I mean, Luke brought up building like an NBA team or an NBA lineup. I think that we could do that. There's plenty of stuff we could do with it.
I think we should definitely do more team building stuff like this. This was really fun. I
was
like
fun.
that. Yeah.
That was really fun.